Howdy. So, I have one last Chaos Lord, Nurglized Chaos Lord to do, and I realized that I have Gurg the Fowl lying around. He's not weaponed upright, but his arms look like they could be. And I need to give him a big one-handed weapon and a plasma pistol. And right now he's just got like a bolt rifle or something like that. So I need to find a plasma pistol and a weapon, which hopefully I have because I got some Plague Marine sprues going. And then we will build out Gurg. He also needs a bigger base. But I just picked up this, so I could have some more Nurglings. Which they run on the correct size base. I need to cut one of those guys out now in case I get to it. Fortuitous. This is just an impulse buy. And it looks like it is, yep, it is the right size. I think that's a 40 millimeter base. So I don't have to worry about the base. These guys I'm not building for realsies, they're just for spare parts. And he already rocks out with a couple Nurglings on there. I might give him one or two more. Can never have enough. I also may end up gluing on some Nurglings to some other things tonight because I don't know that I can be stopped. I know that I want some, if not maybe just one, maybe more, on my Tyrant. Take a little the edge off of it. So we'll see how it goes. Let me check my levels here. I think I'm okay. Hopefully I'm not clipping or anything. So we'll get down to business. So first and foremost, I got this whole sprue, but I got to do some digging. And I've got to find a plasma pistol. I know on the combat patrol I found a plasma rifle, but that's just not going to cut it. This is a no-go. This is all kinds of guns on it. All kinds of guns. I think this one might be a no-go, but I gotta really search. So many things. Someone's gonna see it on the stream. Be like, dude, why can't you see? Because I'm old, yo. Don't beat up the old man. I don't think it's on there. That one, sprue looks very really up. See, there's a plasma rifle. Maybe I have to flip this thing over and it'll match. Yep, yeah, got it. 133. I'm gonna clip you out before I lose you. Got a plasma pistol. Lo and behold. So Gurg is basically gonna get some leveled up weapons. I'll probably take flack for that. His bolt rifle's probably some legendary thing I don't know about, but tweak his weapons out. He's also got a really rad headpiece. He just looks like he's just out there doing Nurgle's work. So yeah, I started late. It was a little bit of getting kids to bed and this and that. But I found some parts and I'm still awake. So we're gonna go for it. Basically, it looks like I can leave his gun apart. I need 4 and 3. Sand these down a little bit, and they just snap together with his head in there. So this guy won't have as much shenanigans going on as... there won't be any decapitations this time, sadly. So I've found that I have quite the stomach for removing model heads. All right. Though this is one of the like pressed together models, and I did find, and I have a video on this, when I built the other, I think 3 of these that I have, they did not press together so well. That was a little bit of an adventure. Let me scooch this guy up a little bit. All right. But yeah, I'm gonna make one more Chaos Lord. It'll look a little different than the other 2, just for reference. These guys look like broskies. I am switch these down. This guy's head, I'm gonna have to just kind of give a gnarly treatment so that it looks kind of rotten. This guy, he looks great with his, I can't remember what it's called. Sorry, lizard wizard. He's got a dope helmet, and I did a little bit of green stuff, tentacly stuff to sort of make him a little bit different. He's got this really awesome long spear, which is a first model ever practice model special. I had an extra sprue of that guy from the first time I walked into a Warhammer store. Where the guy was gracious enough to like, oh, you want to get started? Here, have some stuff. So this one shouldn't be too complex, and then the hope will be maybe my work's been pretty busy, so like my lunch has involved me scurrying out of this room directly into the kitchen and microwaving something quick and then scurrying back in. But if the weather holds tomorrow, speaking of which, you got those plague marines, I can't seem to find them. Yeah, you don't want to find them where I found them. So there was that whole thing going around with like the 7-pack, where if you bought the whole thing, you could get the sorcerer in it and all that. And while that was going on, I saw a sale online, but these are the old ones. And I will, if you still do care, I will look up where I got them from. But these are not the new edition ones. These are the ones that I think were like released in Japan back in the day. And so I think the new set is these 6 with an additional Plaguecaster guy. Yeah, so tomorrow looks like 90% chance of rain. So maybe I won't be priming anything tomorrow, but one can always hope. I do need to pop his head out. They are cool models. They're very cool models. I would not be surprised with this one if I had to snip off the actual pressed together pins. Because they went horribly when I built the other 3 and just glued the thing together. I struggled. I had mad seams. Had a moment. I won't say that I got upset, but I was like, why doesn't this work? I'm going to hide you guys back over here. Put you guys back there. But optimally, I paint all 3 of these blokes at the same time and just sort of do passes through them because I want them to have a similar paint job to each other, but not the same as the relatively consistent one I've done with my other Plague Marines. I want these guys to stand out as Chaos Lords. So it's quite possible that because both of these guys have big cape, that I'll pick a color for the cape and then I'll just have to find some part of this guy's motif to do in the same color. But I want these guys to stand out so that I don't struggle to eyeball them on the board. Obviously they have bigger bases, but I'm just sort of thinking about the fact that I'm new to this, and like as much as I love my models that I've made, I do have the sinking feeling that once I look down at the table, everything's just going to be a big wash of green. And they are Chaos Lords, so I do want them to stand out, just on their own merits. I want my opponent to fear them until he mows them down. It was like, oh, thanks, GG. All right, so I'm reading this correct. Oh, this guy's head is so neat. He's like, I love it. I gotta make sure I do him some justice when I paint him. Oh, I get a little bit of this off of here. Oh, Gurg the Fowl. What a name. Imagine being born and having your mom name you Gurg the Fowl. Sort of sets you up for the rest of your life. Alright, does the head actually fit in there? It does. Fit in there facing the right direction? Maybe his head being on backwards is just a mutation. You don't know. I don't know. Watch me fumble this thing for like days. I think does it snap in? No, it doesn't snap in. It's just supposed to sit there gently, patiently, while I do this? I doubt it. Alright, where's the hole in the back? His head in there. And then we press a bit, make sure his head is in there reasonably. In the picture, he's looking off to his right, or his own left, which I kind of like. Oh man, yeah, here we go. Do all the little posts line up? Not really. Not so much, sort of, kinda. Okay, this is gonna need a bead of glue. I mean, he looks right enough. What is up with his right foot? What is up with that? Oh, that's a complication. Nothing's ever easy. Look at the whole thing before you start. I was like, where the heck is the front of his right foot? See that? I don't know why you did. This is like making this thing anti-Kitbash. His right foot's part of the base. You're gonna make me saw that piece of foot off? You're gonna make me do that? Alright, what are my thoughts? One, this will look cheap, but I could try to dress it up, is I could put the base on top of the base and it'll be raised up. That seems pretty corny to me. Or I could saw the foot off and glue it back on. What a weird design. An absolutely weird design to do. Each one of these, something silly about them. I don't know. All right, I'll worry about that at the end. I am kit bashing, so if I gotta snip this foot off and put it back on there, so be it. Have his foot sitting in mud. Every single one of these, something weird happens. I love it. Keeps you on your toes. As I said though, I am gonna run, and this I left out like this, so who knows if there's any glue coming out of it without any flame. Run a bead of glue. Yeah, you're gonna need a torching, buddy. This doesn't light me on fire with it. Normally, yeah, I do have tweezers. Okay, so I do have to figure out that foot. Just move this stuff. Get some proper fumes up in this room. Good to go, I hope. Get the glue flowing again. Yeah, there we go. So these models are really interesting in that they're very cool models, but they just have issues getting them to snap together. So I'm putting a little bead of glue in here, and I will wipe up when I'm done. But these may need a little scrape later. But sometimes they just don't quite fit together like as if you were pressing them together. It's a whole lot of model that's not, it's the whole front and the whole back. So it doesn't benefit from any of that stuff you'll see on a sprue where it's like a third of the body and a third of the body and a chest plate. This thing is just like all or nothing. So I'll hit it with this bead of glue, and then I'm gonna grab this thing and squeeze. Just get a little bit in there. And it may need a little bit more cleanup than usual, but is what it is. All right. So just squeeze this guy tight, and while I'm squeezing him, just take a paper towel, get some of the little excess, just dab it in there. Could use a Q-tip for it, but that would leave a little bit of fuzz, which you can pluck off. You can grab tweezers and do that. It's no biggie. Give this guy a squeeze for maybe another 15 seconds, and then we'll just cut off all the other bits and put them on there. Okay, so I did find my pistol. I'm gonna have to see how this guy's arms look without his gun, but it very much looks like the arms and the gun are separate pieces, which is bonus. All right, I'll let that guy sit. Fun, fun, fun. Yeah, this one should work. It's the pauldron, most of the arm that goes to the hand, so that should be easy peasy. And this one, I think, is similar. Doesn't have the hand. That should be good. Gently, don't actually snip the knife, buddy. There we go. Get these little sanding love. This one's weird. That shoe being part of the base, like, man, you don't know till you start trying to dry fit this stuff, start clipping parts out. So I was pulling his body out. Where is your other foot? Not here. I don't think that I can actually make the base look all that good if it's just a base on top of a base. I mean, maybe it's just built up. I guess I could just build it up with mud on the sides. But he's going to definitely look like he's sitting on a layer cake a little bit. Unless I use a lot of Nurglings. Maybe Nurglings are my savior in this matter. It is possible. Alright, so he needs his arms put on, his shoulders. You gonna fit in there, right? Okay, you do. So I'll give this a little dab of glue on the end. Always dry fit it first. Try to be mindful of your camera. Don't have to worry about both of his hands holding the actual gun. So I could YOLO him. Ah! I'm not going to do that. I'll put his arm in a reasonable position. Put it down by his side, and then in theory, his gun's got to be in this hand. So I got to give him enough space here. This will be weird. This will be weird. May have just gotten complicated. I may not have all the options in the world as far as... Okay, so this gun part is going to be just fine. But, and it's a decent sized but, you got a big old hole in his chest. Not too worried about that. Plague Marine, he could take it. But that big old hole in his chest would normally get a post that I think goes to the gun. Is that what it looks like? Yeah, the gun takes a post through it. Yeah, you can see that hole right through there. So like make the gun keep his arms close to his chest. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing it. In theory, even though these are a little different, I might have to take a little bit off of this gun. No, if I jam it in there, it'll be fine. Problem is that arm. So he's going to have this gun at his side, and he's going to be leftying some other weapon. So I have to find a weapon that he can lefty. And I probably need to fill that hole. Unless his whole jam is he's got a huge hole in his chest, and he's like, I don't care. I would care. It would look dumb. Dumb enough. I'm okay with things looking kind of dumb. So he needs a plague-encrusted weapon that he can wield with his left hand. But then we're good to go. And then we are good to go. Sprues, all the sprues. Plague-encrusted weapon that he can wield with his left hand. Is that his left hand? That's his right. I'm going to guess all these guys are like melee right-handed. Every last one of them. That's right-handed. Maybe I don't care. Ooh, would that fit? Would it fit? Would it fit? Would it fit? Do I need to check a sheet? I think I do. Let's see if I can find this. Maybe this guy gets a variant weapon. Maybe he's not like his buddies. Let's see. Looking up Death Guard. Sorry, I can't see the screen, but I just need to look up his sheet. Chaos Lord. Not in Terminator armor, but just Chaos Lord. He can have... Okay, so... He can have a Plague Fist. Is a Plague Fist the same thing as a... You can have Twin Lightning Claws or a Plague Fist. He would look pretty funny if you just had two hands like this. I wonder just how funny he would look. I wonder if I have two of these. If I had a left hand and a right hand, oh my gosh. I might deviate from my plan And we got twin lightning claws guy. I don't know that I have two though. So hard to find. It'd be like, be like Crab Man. No, that looks silly. Because it would be like, yeah, it's not gonna fly. It should take up like his whole forearm is in there. This would be like, oh my god, I'm Long Arms McGee. Oh, sorry, buddy. You're not getting that. You are getting a pistol though. Pistol and a plague encrusted weapon. I guess that could be. We could do better than that. We'll find something. Let's stash this sprue. Get it out of the running. This looks like mostly ranged weapons except for that right-handed shenanigans. I'll grab a different sprue. Gotta have something. It's gonna be funny when I go to actually build my other 14 Plague Marines and they all are like, oh, you're missing one thing because you just cannibalized your sprues. That's life. Let's get more. So that's in the running. Big old blade. So I'll just set that aside. This would be in the running. I mean, I could cut the hand off, but it's kind of tiny. It doesn't look exalted to me. It's plague encrusted exalted weapon. Keep it exalted, buddy. This sprue I got through. Just double checking. Anyone notice if I put his arm on backwards? Is that a terrible thing to say? That is a terrible thing to say. I could do better than that. Okay, we're pulling out the pile. Set this guy aside because I may be using that big old honking swordy looking thing. This has got... That's old school. Nothing. Mega hatchet. Ooh. That weapon's pretty cool. And that is left-handed. And all I would have to do is saw this guy's arm off at the elbow. And that thing would go off to a tube that leads to nowhere. So maybe I get rid of the tube. I don't know. That could work. Could work. Make sure there's nothing else on here. Don't think a grenade counts as a plague encrusted exalted weapon. I don't think anyone would let that fly. All right, I'll set that aside because it's got that cool blade. These guys got nothing. Or do they? Or do they? I'd need a hand. There's no way I'm going to find a hand that'll fit around that. I'm going to see that blade that goes on his gas pack. It's not really a backpack. Come on, keep rolling them sprue dice. These are my last two that I have to work with. That is just another extra one from Poxwalkers. That is no dice. But this one. This is the good one. This has a pile of weapons on it. All right, so yeah, now we are in business. That thing, that's a lefty. Like, that could look gnarly. It's basically going to be standing there like pistol and sword. He's praying. So that sword, that sword, which is pretty rad. What else do we got? There's got to be one or two other things on here. That's a left-handed mace. I would have to cut that out to see how that would look, but that thing is... I think it would cover his face. It'd basically be like, that might work. I think it's close enough where I'm going to snip it out, and we're going to see how it looks. And if it doesn't look great, I'll put it in the cup with all my other bits that I'm invariably going to lose. Because I'm running risky. But I'm having fun. Alright, so I would have to likely do some sawing, but I could spin this however I want, so that the mace could be sort of out and up and get out in front of his plasma pistol. God, the things I'm going through to make this work. That's probably the best bet, because I saw his arm, and then I can turn this as much as I need to, so that both weapons can rock out. I think that's the move. Yeah. All right. So out comes the saw. My sprues again. Sprue lottery. And I need to take this guy's arm down by about that much. Is that really it? Yeah, it's all the way down to there. All right. Here we go. I love your content. Thanks for your... Hey! Thanks, Adam. Thanks a bunch. Came right as we're about to saw some poor guy's arm off. Oh, is this going to make it? All right. I'm scared. I'm probably going to damage the model a bit. But hey, thanks, Adam. Yeah, it's fun. It is fun, and for some reason... 4,000 subs. Like a weird dude doing a hobby in his office, but people have fun with it. People have fun with the video game stuff that I've done, and I have to say, especially now that I've been live streaming, like I spend more time modeling. It's motivating. I get a lot of my questions answered. Figured out what a melt-a-gun was the other day. Yeah, I should probably... Oh, hey, it's still spinning. You know what? We don't actually have to damage the rest of the model, because I can take that whole arm off and then jam it back on there again. There we go. All right. Surgery complete. I think this is actually going to look pretty rad. Gurg the Fowl. Yeah, it could be decent and sanded a little bit. I think I'm going to end up going a little bit Kitbash crazy eventually. Like, I'm really scared, and these are not, like, in any way, shape, or form perfect, but, oof. It's exciting. It's exciting breaking your toys on purpose. And it's obscene, they're so expensive. Did I make his fucking arm too short? I think his arm's right. Ish is a little stubby. Maybe I overdid it. No, I think that's right. That's right. That's where his elbow is. That's good. All right. So now I gotta fill that hole in. I gotta fill that hole in. That thing is treacherous. Thankfully, I only need a little bit of this. If you see me sweating, it's not because I'm nervous. I am a little nervous, but it's really hot in my office right now. It's been a day. I basically just sit in here all day talking on Zoom. And it wasn't that cold outside. And I don't have the air conditioning on in my house anymore. It's cool enough to not need it. But at the end of the day, especially with my other machine trying to cook a battle simulator game with like 8 million dudes on it, things just screaming. Everything suffers in this room. It's my local warrior star. Discord. Oh. In the Discord. Ha, that thing is rad. That thing's awesome. Old Nurgle Lord. That guy is sweet. I love him. He's got the helmet in his hand. Man after my own heart. Just FYI, folks. You know what? I'm not even sure who's here, but I'm going to throw this out there. Boo. Text channels. Yeah. Copy link? No. Create text? No. What do I want? I want to get a link to this. What is my Discord link? I don't want to tell. copy link work? Invite? Oh, paint something's gonna be pink now. Yeah. Invite people. Just copy button. If anyone's morbidly curious, boop boop, what I'm talking about. We got a little Discord channel. A few people on it. Basically, just use it to share pictures. So, like, hey, if you've got something, you're like, hey, I would like other people to see this. Go ahead and post it there. We post all kinds of stuff. We don't really do heavy critiques. Just kind of have fun. Yeah, there we go. We cover that hole right up. Look at that goopy surgery. Yeah, but it's still pretty flippin' rad looking though. Like that's the thing, is like everybody's gonna like onward and upward, like get better as far as technique goes, but man, that dude's happy. That guy radiates Nurgle. Side you, there are 2 Marines. That's awesome. Picture's great. Alright, so this is reasonably covered up. I should probably use some tools so that I look meagerly professional and don't leave thumbprints in this poor guy's chest. But I think that'll be fine. Sort of cover up, sort of smooth it in a couple spots. As soon as you pick up a metal tool, you're like, oh, look at how professional I am. I am not. Anyway, that works. Now all I gotta do is force the weapons on him. He has some weird thing that goes on his shoulder. Weird thing, it's a Nurgling. That's what it is. I already dumped the sprue of this. Probably. Yeah. Alright. What's the only thing better than 2 Nurglings? More Nurglings, that's right. He's got a Nurgling literally on his pauldron. A baller. Baller. Set that up, give it a little sand. It is just nutty breaking down a model. Like, honestly, like one of these guys gotta be like $20 probably. I didn't even look. I don't even want to look now. I'm just like cutting their heads off. Whatever. You are here to serve. Dab of glue. There's a right way for you to sit, and I don't think I've done it yet. There we go. Yep, it goes boop, sits in there. Oh, that looks cute. That's adorable. Little buddy sitting on his shoulder spike. Gets another one in his base. Does get another one in his base. All right. What was the last thing? Oh yeah, he's got the jump pack / repurposed gross pack. And then I'll just get his weapons on there. And then I'm probably going to try to do the layer cake thing with this base and just pile a bunch of Nurglings on there to hide the fact that it's a base on top of another base because his foot is part of the flipping base. Where did I put that base? I'm all about that base. Did I already lose it? That would be hilarious if while I was yapping I lost the base. Oh, it's still on the sprue. There it is. Of course it's still on the sprue. Alright, so sand you in a minute. Dab the old forehead. Have a sip of tea. Shit, it's my birthday in a few days. Ah! I'll have to buy myself something to paint. Or a light. I need a better light above this thing. Get better depth of field and focus if I actually had some light running. All right, so Gurg the Fowl is his name, and he's undergone a great deal of surgery. He's going to undergo a great deal more. Plasma gun on, which will be precarious. Plasma pistol. Oof. All right, I'm going to have to hold that. Oh, do I? Oh, it's slotting in. I need that plastic to get a decent amount of melt in. Oof. I am very tempted to do some pink models. Like, very tempted. Alright, let's see if this still works. Dude, his arm is so stubby. I think I cut off too much of his fucking arm. It looked like it lined up. Yeah, that thing is short. Again, his other arm's pretty short. I don't know now. Now I'm having second thoughts about his stubby arm. Anyone will care. He's got like 2 crossed weapons. That's pretty cool. Hold that on there a little better. I mean, I could rip his whole arm off and put a whole fresh arm on that thing. I mean, that pauldron's neat, but it's not the end all be all. His arm is like, it's short. Let me just make sure that this is on here tight enough so I can gingerly put it down for a second. In which case, if I have to find his arm, a new arm, I'm not sure he'll be able to get the mace. But if I'm smart, this mace came with an arm somewhere because I didn't cut this. Do some detective work. Try to do some detective work. I'm not going to spend too much time doing detective work if it's not immediately apparent to me what thing attaches to that mace. I'll just find something. Oh, there we go. What piece was it? 94. Got a nice old 94 on here, and we found his correct arm. 93. Where's 94? My old Nurglings, bulging green flesh, and Nurglings. The head was part my friend traded me. Back of his head and neck for greens into is green stuff. I love the fact that you've got a story about this that involves like a trade with a friend. It just makes it so wholesome. And now, because I'm reading people's stories, I forgot the number. 94 is what I'm looking for. I think that's rad. That's like such an old school. Like, I'll trade you this head. All right, sounds like a deal. 74. Come on, we gotta have a 94 in here somewhere. 84. Where are you, 94? 94. Got it. Oh, we're in biz. We are in biz. Surgery table is back in business. All right. New plan. Rip this guy's arm off. Boosh. Doesn't need a peg. Obviously, I'm committing to this stuff pretty quickly. No more peg. And now I just have to have enough of a... There we go. Enough of a flat piece. Oh, yeah. For that to get on there. He's going to look fabulous. He's going to be holding the mace like, ah. Yeah, let's glue that on. Let's do this. It's happening. And then all I got to do is find a pauldron that fits on it, and I'm gold. And y'all don't need any of the parts you have. Is it going to stick? Yeah, it'll stick. It'll stick-ish. Probably needs to be up above that shoulder piece a little bit so the pauldron sits on it. I hope. Yeah, completely custom built. Love to hear stuff like that. So now he's gonna be fabulous. He's gonna be like, oh, look at me. Yeah, I can spin that whatever way I need to. Do this. Yeah, once that's actually glued on, buddy, you can do whatever you want. All right, so I'm gonna be gentle with him. Plasma gun is so precarious, it needs more glue. It is just in the back there. Bloop, a little droplet. By little, I mean that was way too big, but that's fine. I need more of the plastic to melt. gun by his chest. All right. As long as I'm just like overdoing it and not letting this guy dry enough. Slap this doohickey on his back. Speed kitbashing. Things as haphazard as possible. Oof. Gotta get on there, buddy, without me touching anything else. Oh, there we go. Is it on there straight? Is it on there straight? This guy's gonna be such a pile of funniness. All right, so cut off his hand and cut off his arm. Gave him a new stubby arm. Now with this and the pauldron, he should be good. So I should start finding a pauldron that'll fit on him, which should be just about any. So I should probably give him one that's pretty dope. Ha! That's his old pauldron. It's the same print, except this one comes with a jacked up arm in it, and this one is empty. You want your pauldron back, buddy? You got it. Bet your mom gave you that pauldron. Can't be seen leaving the house. You change your weapons, but you can't change your pauldrons. Sunday pauldrons. All right, so if I sand this guy down, watch it not actually fit on there, even though it's the exact same sculpt on the outside. Funny that I found out that fast. Considering I couldn't find a gun to save my life, but in theory, then this goes boop right on there. Yeah, that works. Just keep gluing as fast as you can. Can't catch me on the gingerbread man. Alrighty. Looky there. You're looking dapper. Goes like that. And here we just attach the funky mace. Is everything going to fit at the same time? That's an important question. I got to figure that out. Yeah. It's better than gluing multiple parts while they're just hanging on by a string. Okay. That's kind of a cool pose. He looks fabulous. He's got like mace out in one hand, plasma pistol in the other. Backpack's on straight. It is kind of neat because his head's got like a little bit of a tilt to it, and then the skull and the spike is like, hey-oh. All right, so in theory, what I said I was going to do is actually, because he needs to be on a bigger base than this, and his flipping left foot is part of this base. So I've either got to saw that off and attach it to his foot, or glue this base on top of this base, which case it's going to look like he's on a podium on a layer cake. But if I go Nurgling crazy, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. I think I can probably live with him. Let's check these guys' heights. No, they're similar. I think I can probably live with him being on a tall base. He's just that fabulous. I feel like I've done enough surgery. I've completely plugged up the guy's chest hole. Unless someone tells me it's a bad idea. We're going on the double bass. And the drums. Alright, which means this Nurgling that comes with him, because he comes with two, that already fits in the base. So that's easy peasy. Just make sure he doesn't have any weirdness to him. Cutting him off the sprue looked a little odd for a second, but that's because it's one of the Japanese ones and they're round. The sprue connections are different. They look different, so you got to kind of look twice before you cut something off. And a lot of them have these little post things. Yeah, maybe show the people that are being patient enough to watch you what you're actually doing. Zoop. All right. So in theory, yep, it's got a boot hole there. So this guy goes to this thing like that. All right, so I will glue that, but I'm just making sure the fit's good. All righty, fit is good. All right, that fits in nicely. Now we very gently, plasma gun's loose as all heck. His arm's not too bad. Pauldron's kind of mediocre. Can I successfully put him here? I can, and I'm gonna risk it. He's got this great grip for where the stuff fits in on the base, which is nice. It's not even supposed to need glue, but we glue everything here. And then if you push down enough, yep, his boots all lined up nicely. He's standing. So I'm not going to base him like for realsies. I mean, he's not getting painted tonight either, but like that's a pretty cool pose. His head's in there good. Just give that a touch. Look at my screen. Like he's definitely staring down the opponent. Mace out, pistol out. He'll be on a tall base, and then I almost said coup de grace. The pièce de résistance. Yeah. So here's the thing as far as that tentacle part goes, though. As I drop the guy, please don't fall apart. Is that gun is so close there that like I may still put a tentacle on that, but I'm gonna wait till everything's nice and dry and then see what can fit in there because I'll probably have to. If I do put a tentacle in there and it like wraps around, it's gonna have to squeeze in there, and I can't do that while this guy is still so like smushy. The true pro move would be have a little Nurgling head stick out of it. Quaid. A little total recall thing. But he may get a tentacle there. At the very least, I may add a little bit of stuff around there because he does have a tentacle right there. But for right now, just to get something in there, because I won't be able to get in as far as easily, that's just holding court for now. Oh, this pistol is very soft. Very soft plastic. Set him back. Let him just chill. And then, yes, pièce de résistance. So, I have, I'll show you the box. I have Nurglings. I'm not going to actually use these, at least the ones from this box, as units. Because they're pretty rad, pretty darn awesome. Like, these guys are just like standing on each other's shoulders. I am, while I'm here, because I've wanted to do this for quite some time, going to put something on this, and then I snapped it, and now they're on magnets. Ha, 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 ha. Sorry, I'm still very proud of myself for using magnets properly. I think I'm going to snip off these two guys. I'm not going to glue them on right now because I still got to prime them and paint them, but I'm going to see where they can fit. And I'm tempted. I'm super tempted. Well, I'll snip them out and then we'll see if they actually fit the way that I would like them to. Because if they do, it's going to be dope. Okay, gently. Sorry, buddy. You're getting fixed. The question is, do they fit in the Doctor Strangelove position? And oh my god, they do. So I'm going to glue them on the end of these rockets. And they'll just be partying ready to take off. In fact, I probably can thread them, get them to like sit a little bit. So they're just going to be waiting to party. Either that or I could put them on a gun barrel. No, they're going to be better on rockets. Anyway, That's part of the. I didn't just get these just for this one case, but you can never have enough Nurglings. These ones are pretty big. These are basically, I mean, at this scale, they're basically full demons, but I'm going to have them glued onto these rockets. Glue them on the back. Cheerleaders, because that's cool. And then I'll probably add a couple to, I'll definitely put one on my tank somewhere inappropriate. I'll probably put a couple in the little sort of scene of that miasmic malignifier. And that'll be fun. But yeah, wanted to make sure that this pair actually could fit on those rockets. The Nurgle guidance system. So I think at this point, all I can do right now is just let things dry. I give this guy a quick inspection here. Yeah, exactly. It's stupidly wacky, which is exactly what they do. Like the little lords just run around. They get murdered all the time, but like they don't die. They just go back to Nurgle's garden and just get like regurgitated, and they come back. They get killed by the score. But man, they love mischief. These guys are all dried up from last night, and everything's on there nice and good. This guy got a really dope cleaver. Already had a plasma pistol. This guy got a little bit of tentacle action, a really rad spear glavy sort of thing, and a dope helmet. So I'll try to sneak out tomorrow, but it's like 90% chance of rain. That stinks. I'll try to sneak out tomorrow, and let's do this. Have them all next to each other. Don't break them. You're in the golden moment. Just let them sit. But now, I'll see if I can prime them tomorrow. Maybe I'll do it late tonight. I'm so tired. I'm not going to do it late tonight. But if I can get them primed, then I can start painting them either tomorrow night or in the weekend. And then I have a bunch of Plague Marines to do after that. But these guys are each going to be leading one of 3 Plague Marine squads. And I have to figure out, I need a little time because I got to figure out a paint scheme. I don't want to do these identical to all their Plague Marine buddies. I want them to stand out. Maybe pink. It's not going to be pink for these guys. But something bright will be in there. I'll figure something out there. Anywho, I know this one was relatively short and sweet, but it's mainly because I didn't run into too many apocalyptic problems this evening. So I'm a bounce. It's been real. Next time we'll paint all 3 of these guys. Just run them in cycle. I'll come up with a color scheme, and let's think if there's any other news. I've started recording my analysis of the Infinite and the Divine. That one's fun. That's really cool. I may actually get those 2 models. I didn't realize the main characters in the books are actually characters on the tabletop. Anyway, thanks a bunch. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.